morning and welcome to Once Driven Forever Smitten. It's early Saturday morning and I'm in Sutton, Greater London, where I brought the Omega earlier in the week on super unleaded, and I'm now about to drive up to Manchester to go to a couple of scrapyards in the area for another video. So I've got two sort of narratives on the go at the same time, the main plot and the subplot, but I'm going to divide them up into separate things anyway. Road Angel wants an update, can't do that just now because it refuses to connect to my phone. Right, parking ticket. Lovely stuff. Right, better get organised. Yeah, traffic's pretty busy now. A long line of cars sitting out here. Now, what I need to do is get across to the M40 because the sat-nav was not telling me I could use this road. A mile. Okay, let's get in front of the truck. Fucking hopeless. Bloody fucking people. Right, that'll do it. Well, we have definitely had a bit of snow now. That's big cotton wool flakes coming down. And a guy in a Freelander that would not move out the outside lane, he kept slowing down and speeding up. And of course when I finally get past him, he decides he wants to go past me again, so I wasn't allowing him. Well, listen, the road's well gritted, it's not lying, which is good. Yeah, it's been a decent run up so far in terms of traffic. Haven't been held up at any point. Hasn't been too bad at all, but this is now that we're hitting this consistent snow and the temperature's sitting at freezing, it is managing to stick to the motorway a bit, and it's slowed down quite substantially in the opposite direction. We've got 5.2 miles until I get to the M42. Somebody else with the fog lights on here. Where did I get this idea from? At no point anybody tells you to put your fog lights on in the rain or a bit of snow. The visibility is fine. I don't know. Ugh. This is a bit slushy in the outside lane. Sorry, I've got to get past Mr. Foglight Audi. And Mr. Range Rover is having issues. Well, oh, now she's looking out the back of her car at me. Great. Come on, can't reach out to get her card on the payment thing. Come on, you can do it. Now she's trying the card in the slot. Wait, there we go, done. Getting a bit concerned there. No, in fact, oh, it's a child looking out the back seat. I thought she looked awfully young. Thank you very much. Black wheels trying to skate there. It is icy. That's me just about at Dave's. The Road Angel's just going nuts the whole time. Got camera van spots everywhere around here. not somewhere I've been before. Half a mile through this housing estate. Go in, get some equipment charged up, get a coffee, use the facilities, go and check out some cars, go to a scrapyard. What a great way to spend a Saturday. But yeah, this scrapyards, there's supposedly 2 of them. They're pretty interesting because they're old school ones with stacked cars and you can wander about and everything. And there are not so many of them about anymore. We're going around here. Hey! Should be fairly obvious where his house is. Probably the one with all the Vauxhalls sitting out at it. But you should know I'm coming as well because I shared my location on WhatsApp. Well, that's us at Mike's and we're going to take the Cavalier SRI up to the first scrapyard we're going to. I'm just going to fire the Omega on the drive. Nice 8-ball there. That sounds well. Oh, you can smell it, pure petrol, lovely. Nice, like this is a 1.6L donor car.
Yeah, it's basically now.
What was the when did all the mechanicals and stuff come out one car?
No.
Does well. Probably won't be using that. That does
it anyway, like
that pulls nice, like.
But that's not. Normally it feels quicker than that, you know. But like I say, once it's warmed up and that, very special clutch. And I thought, for 25 quid, I'll take a chance for a laugh. You know what I mean? I thought it's not a big job changing clutch in one of these, is it? Bloody 40-minute job. Put it in. It's the lightest clutch I've ever had in a car. It just feels like you're pushing a piece of paper down. But
I put a clutch in the black K-Edge one that I had, and it was super light when I changed it.
Yeah.
The clutch to change in the blue one because it was really heavy. It's almost like it's dragging now. It's slowing it down a bit.
The only problem I've got with this one, to do a clutch in it, I've got to take the box out of it, so it's not got an inspection plate on it. It's a later F16.
You'll never need to do it again.
No, that's it. I mean, I've had the car 3 years now. I've done 5,000 miles on it in 3 years. You know what I mean? It's like
use it a bit more.
That's the thing. I did most of it last year when I put this engine. I was like, I need to drive it, you know, through lockdown and all that. I'm like, I'm going everywhere in it.
How did the engine come out? Or did you get the engine? Did you break a whole car?
It come out of a 50,000 mile SRI Cavalier.
Not even run in. What happened? They've been hit.
No, it's the lad bought it. Sorry, bloke bought it brand new. Used it for a couple of years. Come home from work, put it in the garage. Went to sleep, never woke up.
Oh dear.
And his missus left it in the garage for 25 years. And never got it out. And my mate's dad went doing some work on the house, and she went, "Oh, just go in the garage there." She went, "Just watch the car you go in," and he went, "Oh my god, what do you want for that?" And she went, "Oh, well, they sorted the deal out, he got it out, and the only blemish on the car was where she used to walk into the garage, and it's red as well, where she used to walk into the garage, she'd rub the paint off the wing near the indicator. Literally a 50p sized mark where it got down to the primer, where she used to push past it. That was the only blemish on the car. Then he put a red top in it. I bought this off him.
Is it still around?
No, sadly.
Oh.
He put 4 tyres on it coming home. It was a bit greasy. Back end's gone on it. He's tried correcting, overcorrected it, spun it straight through a wall and into a tree.
Oh.
So absolutely written. Literally, Dougie, there was no rot on it anywhere. You know, like you get a little bit on the inside of the panels. There was nothing. It was.
You got to watch brand new tyres. Like you got to go and like.
Well, he was on a 60-mile-an-hour road. He said I was doing 45 mile an hour as well. I was like, that just pisses you off even more when you weren't driving like a dick. You know what I mean? It's like.
No, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at least the engine's in this one.
That's
it's a quick one as well. You know?
Yeah.
Here we go. Working our way in here. 7'9". Oh, you're not getting in here with a high top transit. there was an Astromax van sitting there.
Yeah, it's just on the left here as you go round.
But it's gone.
Yeah. Maybe a few bits of it left in that.
Nah, it's long gone now. Just on a bit of serious athletics, acrobatics, climbing through various cars in this scrapyard, because we found a yellow Nova. I think it's maybe like a GL or something. I thought it was an SR, but it's got the split fold seat bracket in it, which is awesome because we missed out one of those for about 100 quid last week. So we're now going to get the drill out and remove the bits and pieces from it. But I'll show you, it's not the most accessible thing. Got an 8-valve Calibra sitting beside us here as well. I think a lot of these cars have been in here for decades. It's pretty awesome, like proper old school. And there's a train! Dave's just arrived as well. He came through an easier way. He managed to jump through a different part of it. God knows how we're going to get out of here. I think in big, but yeah, we'll just try and move. We'll need a cross-edge screwdriver, I think, and maybe a hammer, because you need the bracket that sits on the floor as well. There's two or three parts to it you need to remove. It looks like somebody had a go at trying to remove that, like chiselling round it, but given up, which I'll show you now. Oh, it's cold as well, and I've got food all over my face. On my way in here, it's full of brambles and things as well. There's an old fuel tank, things growing in it, but that there is part one, that there is part two, where somebody has tried to chisel it out already, and this bit here is part three, and that gives you all your split fold parts for the seat. So you can take them off in the spot welds, and we've got a battery gun and a spot weld drill, so hopefully it should come off. 21 in the battery gun on this. Out you come. Right, I'm going to drill a hole in the floor and get rid of this water. Right, that can go back out. I'll grab this, Dave.
Dave, just grab all of that.
Cheers. Okay. No, there's not much space. Taking it out, no problem. Like, it's just, that's just about off on one side. It's not even connected in the bottom bit. There it's there. So if we go and drill into this. Right, can't be much left to hold that one now. Okay.
That'll hurt. Put myself on the end. Put myself on there.
Come on. Yes! One part of the seat bracket off. Okay, so next one, I'll try to get this one off. Can't see where the spot welds are, but it's that rotten that kind of thinking that it's just going to lift off the floor anyway, because the car's been here that long. That's right under the other side, I think. Not much left on this.
No.
Break off the whole floor section, make life easier. Much bashing and bending and attempted drilling. That's another piece of the bracket about to come off. Just held on by a tack on that spot weld. Hit it off with a hammer now. That should go without too much bother. There we go, boom. One slightly mangled bracket, but that's alright. We'll get that straightened out, okay. Now, it's going like.
Just bouncing up and down off it.
Yeah, that's not going into very great, is it? We have to brute force this one as well, I think.
Yeah.
I have to try and get under it.
Yeah.
Bend the floor up. God, that's soft, that floor, isn't it? Good. The floor's pretty soft, like. Hopefully if we get most of the way down, it should hopefully bend.
Follow the scab.
Yeah.
It's splitting along there. With a bloody screwdriver, isn't it?
Thankfully it's been there that long that this is now so rotten that it's willing to move out.
Go hold of that. 1, 2, 3.
Hey!
It's easy.
There we go. Aye,
Fuel
just
tank.
take the whole bloody. Just take half the floor with us, that's fine. Hey, that should be it.
He says.
Hanging on for dear life, well, at least I can remove it off the bit of floor we've removed at leisure in the workshop. Hey, seat been in the Nova for too long, I can't. That's it, mustard yellow this, isn't it?
Yeah, mustard yellow.
How's Vauxhalls nest?
Oh my
It
god!
It had captains, all captains on the front, rear high shelf card, centre console.
That's like a GL or
I think it
something.
is, yeah,
Must be a
yeah.
GL,
The
then.
reg
Must be a
plates, the
GL.
registration number's there on top of that in the back door.
Oh, let's go and see if I can.
That one there.
Oh, it's got a Hillman imp on top of it, right. We'll go and note the number and then we'll check it out. Oh, blam, that's a reg plate off it, so we'll check that out and it'll be going along the bottom of the screen what it actually is. Ah, success, God, I'm glad that worked. After all that hassle. Minted.
That's literally 2 minutes up the road from here, so it's been a local car all its life.
Dealership eyes working.
Yeah.
Sound. Look at how to get out of here. Because sliding about in the bonnet. Look, there's a Hillman imp here. There's a Jaguar, there's a Montego over there somewhere.
Left hand drive Cavalier.
Everything's, there's a Calibra again. Everything's so tightly rammed in. Oh, this has got aircon on it. This Calibra has. Oh, that interests me. Not that I can really do anything with it. It just interests me. Somebody's chopped the aircon pipes off it. What a waste. Oh dear. Somebody's chopped all the pipes on it. Not to that could have been quite interesting, the fact that it's got an air conditioning system, but it's like on top of a stack and it's impossible to get into the thing, so we'll just believe it. I just got off that Calibra the wiring plug for the aircon compressor because mine's a bit knackered. Left hand drive, all the aircon pipes have been cut out it unfortunately, so they're not any good, but got them anyway. We just need to find our way out now. There's our 3 elusive Nova seat brackets for the air edge. So we'll have a quick look and see what else is in here. This is proper old school. There's like an old excavator, old Mercedes van, supposedly a Carlton in here somewhere, and a Mark II Cavalier, which is very buried. What's up the back here? A Volvo 340. That's a Carlton or something. I can see a 2 litre 8 valve engine longitudinal and then mounted. There's a Carlton disappearing into the weeds, isn't it? There's anything you would get off that. No, don't think so. There's a Mini Clubman and a Rover 100, Volvo 340. I think that's a Mazda 323. There's a Laguna. I think we're struggling, like, there's apparently a Mark II Cavalier, but they're too buried. There's a little Lada Samara up there, and this and Micra. Good grief. This place, nothing's moved in here for years. Oh. A Golf 53 plate, thoroughly modern. A Triumph. Some coupe of some sort. A Beetle over the back. So much stuff, but it's all buried, you can't really get to it. I've got another couple of Carltons and a Senator, but we can't get into it, so I'm going to go into the next scrapyard now. That's a really fantastic find though, getting the seat bracket for that Nova. We missed out on one for 103 quid on eBay, so interesting to see what he asks for this. A couple of mangled bits of rusty metal, that'll be interesting. There we go, old school Land Rover. Any use to anyone? This looks like a very normal standard spec Mark II Cavalier. The saloon, it is, I think, is that an early L? I think it's an early L. There's not much to it anyway. See if we can get right to the back and identify the model. Oh, it's got a reg plate on it as well. Is it a base? No, it's an L. PFM 104Y. You can see a Mark III Astra hiding down there as well. A BMW 518 sitting on top of it. And this is a long wheelbase Land Rover. No registration plate on it. I don't really know anything about them. People that know about these things might be able to advise. Oh, it's a van. A Land Rover van. There you go. Right. Let's get out of here. 3 litre 24 valve Senator. Hot rod, squashed version. There's much you can get off that either. Engine is in it though. God knows if it would turn over or anything, eh? Good grief. Tired looking thing. That's alright, got the brackets off the car for a decent price, considering what they are. Gonna go into the other scrapyard now. The wind would cut you in half, honestly. Wind chill must be well into the minuses, like, so. I had one of these. It was a manual as well, yours an automatic. These have got everything in them. Carlton Diplomat. Saturday Night Live. Happy days. Right. Check this out. Well, it's a Carlton Diplomat, which is rare in itself. Look, it's also got the digital dash in it. Wicked. You fitted them, where did you get them from?
I got them off a guy off the Facebook pages, and then got the wiring loom out of this scrapyard here.
Oh, that's handy.
The digital dash in it.
Yeah, I had one of these back in 2014. It was a manual, and it was really in good condition. And as far as I know, it got stripped for a Carlton GSI replica or a rebuild, which was kind of a bit of a shame because the Diplomat's so rare. The steering wheel had completely fallen to bits. I put a 3-spoke non-airbag wheel in it out of a Cavalier turbo, I think, an SRI 16 valve. I'm more into like automatics these days than I was. I quite happily have one. The 4-speed's actually, the Vauxhalls 4-speed automatic's good. Oh, thank goodness for that, getting that bracket. Ah, wait a minute. Bloody heated seats. You've got to have them on. Can't not have them on. Ah, it's got, this has got the sporty seats in it.
Yes, it's got diamond leather.
I was going to say, mine weren't like that. Mine were grey.
Yeah.
And they were flat, but they were alright. They're not that, these used to be big cars, the Carlton, and they don't feel big at all now, not compared to like modern ones.
So my dad had one when I was growing up, a red one, and I've liked them ever since. And it's just popped up for sale local for very cheap, and I thought, you know what, I'm having it.
Yeah, because they've got everything. The Diplomat's got trip computer, air conditioning, cruise control, heated seats, leather, although this has got the leather out of diamond in it. 4-speed automatic. I was just mentioning the automatics are really good in these compared to the earlier ones that were the 3-speeds, which are awful. These are good. This thing goes alright.
It go for sale on Facebook, local, and I was in Mike's having a drink with him, coffee, watching some videos and that, and then go for sale. I was like, I need that car, I need it.
Oh no, you get that mad panic in your stomach and everything, like I've got to have it.
It was up for 700 quid.
Hey.
I said, I want it. I went up and seen it, and I said, yeah, I'm having it. Paid the deposit, went up the next day, got the money, and it's just been like this ever since.
Not this shift alright, what is it, an NE?
2.6.
What's a 2.6?
Yeah.
Well, no wonder it bloody goes there. I was that thing shift's alright.
Yeah,
It's a 2.6. Mine was only a 2 litre.
Yeah. So that scrapyard's great, it's just getting to the stuff which is the hardest bit. Once you can get to the carts, it's not too bad. There's some good gems in there.
Yeah, there's some great stuff in there. Just it's so messy.
Yeah.
The guy's asking me for. I'm surprised he asked for English money though. They're not usually bothered this far north.
It can usually be a bit funny there and stuff. I went in and asked for a Nova bumper about 10 years ago, rear bumper, and he wanted 60 quid. So it's never got a standard Mark II rear bumper. It's never going to be worth that. It's still on the car to this day.
Okay, well, during the course of this video I was experimenting with some microphone equipment which turned out to be terrible and did not work at all. So during these next few video clips I've had to cut the sound off it because it's just too bad. What you'll see is Dave's black Nova GTE replica. It's got pretty much everything a GTE would have on it apart from fuel injection. It's got a small block Mark III Cavalier 1.6L engine, which is also mated to the Cavalier gearbox, so that goes very well, and it's got a good bit of length about it as well on the motorways. And now as we look down the road, this white Cavalier SRI that you see with the 5-stud wheels on it was originally Mike's, and he sold it to somebody in Wales who fitted the 5-stud kit and the turbo wheels, and then Dave's ended up buying it back. It needs a little bit of work on it, but not too much, and that'll be back on the road soon. So next up we've got his rainbow blue Cavalier concept, a colour you would probably think more of as purple. The concept was a run-out model for the Mark III Cavalier, and it's quite unusual in that it's such low spec. It's got less on it than even the Envoy had at the time. It's got no airbag, no ABS, and it's got no central locking. There weren't too many of those built, but the good thing is at least you get the good 3-spoke steering wheel in it. Now this blue Astra that's getting pulled out the garage, Dave had put a phone number under the windscreen of that car about 10 years ago, and it was only recently when somebody got in touch to say that they would finally like to sell it. I think perhaps the elderly owner had passed away, but he picked it up for a good price, and it's currently in the garage to protect it from the salt of the winter. It's very low mileage and it's completely original right down to the tyres on it. It's a fairly rare car. There won't be too many surviving Mark II Astra estates. It's a 1300 with a 4-speed box, which will be surprisingly nippy. There's not a lot of weight in these cars, and those 1.3 engines come with 70 horsepower, so they go well. As I say, sorry about the muck up with the audio in this. That microphone has been thrown in the bin and will never be seen again. Right, back to whatever it was we were doing. It's that cold, decamped to the car and the tape deck's going. Don't know what it is it's going. Old school stuff anyway. Grundig, when did they stop making radios? Well, I'm just waiting for Dave because we're at his nan's and we're going to go to the other scrapyard. We're going to get the Omega first. Bit windy, eh? Yeah. Feel that there. Whoa, that was interesting. I'd like to feel that curtain-side lorry going along there's going to know all about that.
So I went up, took a back shot and jumped back.
exactly how an SRI should.
Yeah. I was telling him before, sometimes it goes like a fucking rocket though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It goes really strong sometimes.
What's that? It's just like you've got to wake it up, haven't you?
I've no oil pressure now, watch.
Yeah, there she goes.
Whee.
There you go. Keep going now.
Whee.
Doing that petrol.
This is a recent addition, a G-Reg CD.
Field find.
Look at how plush the interior is in them though. That's what mine was like in it, but I stole the dash and the door cards from my GSI and ended up chucking the seats out because nobody wanted it. Minted, eh? Proper luxury. 4 electric windows.
And they all work.
And it's got the expensive CD player, no CD player, cassette player on it. Nice. It's still got arches of the fiberglass nature in them. Oh yeah, there's always one side that's worse than the other. Somebody likes hubnut. But that's nice that. That's got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Nah, not by non-cat NE. Yeah. So I don't get with the NE engine, 115 horsepower, but it's 115 after they put the cat on it.
Yeah.
These are more, I think.
This goes really well, this pulls really well.
Oh, well done, some of them are flying machines.
Yeah.
Nice car.
Lovely. I like
Well, let's get a coffee and stick another 5 minutes of charging my phone. Basically, aye.
Right, dear. I think there's been any fairy ones up here. I've seen a few trees down this morning anyway when I was in the shots.
Aye, oh, it's fucking, that is.
Lumping over there. I think that's ideal, at least to go to brackets.
I give it a side window. It cuts off. So I'm videoing at the same time here.
Oh, right, got you.
It's alright, we're just doing a wee bit of video.
Aye, do you think you just yourself or it's in the way?
Aye, Mike and Dave are with us, eh? Mike's sitting beside me, Dave's driving Mike's Cavalier CD at the moment, so we're just videoing that. We're going into the second scrapyard tonight. Just pulled up at scrapyard 2, it's nearly 4 o'clock, but it's that cold that I can't really face stripping stuff extensively anyway. So the main thing is just to get a look and assess what they've got and decide if we want anything else. And we'll come back for it another date. The cars are covered in snow and it says 1.5 degrees in the readouts, so it must be about -10. Wind chill. Ugh, let's go and see what's happening. We've made it in with 10 minutes to spare, but I'm just going for a look. There are so many Vauxhalls here. I reckon they've got 2 Cavaliers and I can see a Mark III Astra. This is much more professional and modern and nicer than that other one, which is like the land that time forgot. There's a Vectra CD. Oh, there's fucking lots of candidates in here to go looking about in. That's a 2.2. Oh, has that got aircon pipes on it? I need aircon pipe. Oh, it has, it's got the aircon pipe on it. Right. You're getting a job to go and remove stuff because I'm not going to be back here anytime soon.
We'll get them off here.
There's a Cadillac. Yeah. Aye, that's good. Right. Oh, I don't have much fancy stripping stuff today anyway. It's definitely not the weather for it. Having said that, you've got a bit of a stride on, it's alright. Right. Flip. Here we go, there's an Astra. I tell you what actually, I'm getting one of these that needs bits of this colour. It needs a front bumper and a wing.
Well, let us know what you want, we'll get them off.
Front bumper, wing, headlight and indicator off that.
That's stoked in, isn't it?
Ah, tits. That would probably fucking just about bend out.
Out that, yeah.
Aye.
Send us a list what you want, we'll pull them off.
Right, bear that in mind.
Just a little more flax on it.
That's good, because it's a bit. This is actually a lot nicer than the one I'm getting.
Look at the arches on it.
Look at that. That's a travesty. That shouldn't have been here.
No, put miles on it.
Now let's have a look and see what miles are on it.
32,000.
32,000 miles. I thought it was low.
Oh, that's horrendous, that.
Oh yeah, Carlton GSI.
Oh, there it is.
No way. Oh, Carlton GSI. There's one of the Cavaliers. It's a GLS saloon.
Hello, baby.
Oh, dual ram 3 litre 24 valve. I still got the cruise control on it. That. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at the seats. Oh, the seats are alright, they're heated seats, aren't they?
Yeah. Just the door cards are knackered on it.
Ah, seats must be worth fucking getting though, eh? Bear that in mind. Carlton GSI. Ah, there's a Cavalier GLS. Oh, this is a muddy bit.
Yeah.
This has got... It's quite standard, eh? 120,000 on it. That's not a CDX, so it's an 1800 this, it's a drummer. Just as well we've got the fit done a bit in that motorway. If we're going to cruise along at 70 we wouldn't have made it in. Right, another Cavalier. There's a Cavalier. They've got three. This is a CDX. Now the other one had its aircon pipes intact. Ah, it's an Ecotech, but it'll have aircon.
Yeah, it has.
It has got aircon, and it's got decent power state. Right, that's a fucking a day's working that. That's got aircon in it. Cavalier CDX. That's useful.
I took the driver's window out of it. Not this one.
That is useful. Okay, that's good to know.
Oh, it's passenger window out to the car there.
Somebody's pinged the badges off it.
Has it got a parcel shelf?
Do you want a parcel shelf? I've got parcel shelves. I've got one with the headrests in it as well.
Yeah. Why didn't you get that, Dave?
Oh. Yeah, grab it.
Yeah.
Just take it. Cool. Oh, that's alright. I wonder that's not been hacked. I wouldn't mind. I wonder if they would.
They probably pull that out so you could get underneath it and that.
Ah, because I need to take the dash out to get the aircon out it.
Yeah.
Oh, minted.
Put it here, we could get it jacked up.
Get up in there, yeah, definitely. Right, that's good to know that that's there.
Exactly.
This is. Look at that. That's been there a while. Oh, we'll probably have to arrange to. Cavalier turbo diesel. That's pretty. Tired looking. Still got the clocks in it though. Few useful bits and pieces. See much of a Vauxhall combo. 1.7D with a rotten top, predictably. That was really good. They said that if I give them a couple of days notice, I can come down and they'll move that Cavalier CDX so I can get all the aircon parts out it, which will be interesting. And what did you get? Parcel shelf?
Parcel shelf.
Cavalier headrest, parcel shelf and a bit of trim for 20 quid, which I paid for with Scottish money. I've got any. That was a successful 5 minutes in the scrapyard, I think. So now I need to drive over to Halifax and go to a truck thing and then drive home and continue the fuel test for the Omega, which have kind of ruined the economy now because we weren't hanging about coming over here to make it before 4 o'clock. But fantastic, thanks for that. Oh, better say goodbye to these guys because Mike's just jumping back in his car to go over there. Yeah, I'll do that, aye. This thing goes well. Looks good on the road with the fog lights on. The drive alright?
Yeah.
Right, you know.
Yeah. It doesn't drive like it looks.
That's class that, like, that's sound, aye. Yeah. God, it is brutally cold. Good, it was good to meet up with Mike and Dave after having communicated on social media for quite a while and see the cars and everything. We're going to be back because I need that aircon pipe out the Vectra 2.2 for the smashed one. I want the whole aircon set up out that Cavalier CDX to see if I can retrofit it into another car, and also a couple of bits off that really nice gold coloured Astra that should not have been scrapped for that shed of a thing that I'm going to get soon, but maybe we can get an MOT on it and sell it on, maybe, we'll see. But thanks very much guys.
Well, no problem.
Take care and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye. Take care, cheers. I don't think I would be attempting to break in there even though they're wagging their tails.